I'm 8, and I think the coolest thing in the world is having a name that makes people turn their heads. Like when the principal says it over the microphone and everyone claps, or when adults tell each other, that one is going places, and nod very seriously, like they're discussing the weather but more important. I don't know exactly where places are, but I know I want to go there too. I imagine they have carpets with your name stitched in gold, and maybe doors that open by themselves because they recognize you, the way my tablet unlocks when it sees my face. I like the idea of being someone people don't forget. Right now, I'm just me, which is fine, but no one ever gasps when I enter a room. At school, teachers mix me up with 2 other kids who kind of look like me but with worse hair. I don't say that part out loud. Mom says being humble is important, but I think if you're really successful, you don't have to try to be humble, it just happens because you're too busy doing big things. Sometimes I pretend I already am someone big. I practice signing my name in different fancy ways so that when I'm famous, maybe a scientist or a president, or at least someone with their own office, I'll know exactly how my autograph should look. I imagine people lining up to get it, whispering, "Wow, that's him," and I'd smile in a quiet but important way so they understand I'm busy, but I care. At home, my world is smaller. I share a room with my cousin who kicks in his sleep and talks about trucks all day like they're mythical creatures. My mom works late, and when she comes home, she smells like rain and fried onions. She always asks if I ate, if I finished my homework, if I brushed my teeth like a future gentleman. She says things like, "Success is doing your best," but I think success is when people know you're the best without you having to tell them. My teacher gives out stickers for good work, glittery ones with stars on them, and I always feel a little zing in my chest when I get one, like I'm one step closer to that place where carpets have gold stitching. But sometimes other kids get stickers too, even ones who don't try that hard, and I don't understand how that's fair. If everyone gets praised, how do you know who's actually great? Maybe grown-ups can tell, like they have a built-in radar. I hope I'll have one too when I'm big, so I don't confuse pretty good with amazing. I'm scared of being forgotten, not in a dramatic way, just quietly. Like those people adults mention once, and then never again. "Oh, he was talented," they say, and then shrug like he evaporated. I don't want to evaporate. I want to be the kind of person whose name stays in the air a little longer. Sometimes at night I lie awake and imagine future me wearing a suit that doesn't itch, walking into important rooms with important people who all know my name because I've done something incredible. I don't know what that incredible thing is yet. It changes. Yesterday, it was discovering a new planet. Today, it's winning a huge award for something people don't even understand but pretend they do, because it sounds genius. Tomorrow, maybe I'll invent a robot that folds laundry. That one feels useful. But every version of the future has one thing in common: people looking at me like I matter. I think being an adult means everyone finally takes you seriously. No one tells you later or not now or we'll see anymore. Adults say those things to me a lot. Sometimes I wonder if they forget what it's like to wait. When I grow up, I won't make people wait. I'll answer messages right away. I'll show up early. I'll be the person everyone depends on because I'll never mess up or run out of time or say the wrong thing. I'll always know what to do. And when I have meetings, yes, I'll have lots of meetings, that part feels important. I'll wear a name badge that says something impressive. Something with chief in it maybe, or director. Or something no one understands but they nod at anyway. I'll have an office with a window that looks at a city full of lights, and I'll stand there with my hands behind my back like people do in movies when they're making big decisions. I'll have a schedule, and people will ask if they can have a moment with me, and I'll say yes, because successful people are generous with their time. I'll never be too tired or too busy or too anything. I'll have it all balanced perfectly, like those tightrope walkers who smile even when they're one step away from falling, and I'll be happy. That's part of the plan. Even though adults don't look very happy most of the time. They rush a lot. They sigh a lot. They say things like one day, and maybe next year, and after this project, and I don't know why they don't just fix it. If you're grown and important, shouldn't you be allowed to slow down? Shouldn't you get to enjoy things? Shouldn't success feel good? I think maybe they're doing it wrong. When I grow up, I'll do it right. I'll be someone everyone recognizes, but I'll also have time to eat pancakes slowly and laugh with people and go outside whenever the sky looks interesting. I'll never choose work over birthdays. I'll never say no to something fun because of something boring. I'll be the kind of adult who remembers what it felt like to want things. Big things, shiny things, things that make your chest feel too small for your hopes. And I won't let those things disappear. I won't forget who I wanted to be. I won't lose my name in a room full of louder ones. I'll be successful in the way that actually counts. I don't know exactly how yet, but I know it'll be real and everyone will see it. And maybe, most importantly, I'll see it too.
It's strange looking back at the boy I once was, the one who thought success lived inside a title or a polished door with someone important waiting behind it. I remember how badly he wanted people to say his name with admiration, how he practiced signing it like it was already worth something. And the truth is, I chased that feeling for a long time, longer than I meant to. Not because it made me happy, but because it was the easiest metric to count. You can tally promotions, you can frame certificates, you can measure how many people CC you in emails. It all looks like progress when you're too busy to look closely. I wish I could tell that boy that the first real choice wasn't about what I wanted to be, but what I was willing to trade. I took a job that sounded important because the word senior was in the title. It didn't fit me, but I kept it anyway because everyone clapped when I got it. That applause lasted a few minutes. The job lasted years. I said yes to more responsibilities because they made me feel needed, and no to the things that made me feel alive because they didn't look productive. Little by little, the quiet joys slipped through the cracks. The long walks I promised myself. The guitar I swore I'd learn. The trip I kept postponing until the friend I meant to go with moved away and stopped suggesting it. Success was always just after this quarter. Once things settle. When I get one more promotion. It's funny how life never settles, it just rearranges its weight. I started measuring myself by how exhausted I was. Busy meant important. Important meant valuable. Valuable meant safe. Maybe that was it. Maybe I was afraid of being ordinary, of blending into the background the way I did in childhood. Maybe I thought busyness could shield me from invisibility, but it didn't. If anything, it made me disappear from my own life. I remember sitting at my daughter's school concert, still answering emails and realizing I hadn't actually watched her first 2 songs. I was in the room, but not there. I told myself it was temporary. It wasn't. Most of my regrets aren't dramatic. They're small, almost polite. The phone call I didn't return because I was tired. The weekend I spent catching up on work instead of seeing old friends. The morning I rushed out without tasting my coffee. Little things, all of them, but they piled up quietly. By the time I noticed the weight, it was too heavy to lift. There were moments when I thought about changing everything, quitting, downsizing, starting fresh. But each time I hesitated, not because I didn't know what I wanted, but because I didn't know who I'd be without the busyness. Titles became a kind of armor, thin, flimsy armor. They didn't protect me from anything real, but they gave me something to hide behind. I kept telling myself I'd slow down once I reached the next milestone, then the next, then the next. Eventually, my body slowed down whether I wanted it to or not. It's a strange thing, finally having time only when you no longer have the strength to use it the way you planned. These days, my mornings are quiet. I sit by the window with tea that cools too fast, and I try to remember the last time I felt genuinely proud of something that didn't involve a deadline. I don't think the boy I was would be impressed by my titles, but he might smile at the way I still notice small things. The warmth of the mug, the sound of birds arguing outside, the way sunlight lands in strips on the carpet like it's choosing where to rest. Those are the things I used to overlook. The things that didn't count, the things I didn't think mattered. They do. They always did. I just didn't have the stillness to see it. People don't tell you that a life can be full and empty at the same time. full of meetings, tasks, achievements, empty of the moments that make those things worth having. I had chances to fill it differently, to say yes to things that didn't advance my career, but might have expanded my heart. I passed them by, not out of cruelty, just habit. Now I think about the boy who wanted applause. I wish I could show him the evenings I missed because I was too busy chasing recognition from people who forgot my name the minute they left the room. I wish I could tell him that the happiest moments I ever had were small ones. Peeling oranges with my daughter on the porch, laughing at a joke I can't even remember now, sitting by a lake with no signal on my phone and realizing I didn't mind. Those moments didn't come with titles. They didn't make me important, but they made me human. And somewhere along the way, I mixed those two things up. What I know now, what took me a lifetime to understand, is that status is loud, but joy is quiet. I spent years listening to the wrong thing. The boy in me thought success was being seen. The old man in me has learned it's being present. If you're where I once stood, caught between who you are and who you think you should be, you still have time to choose differently. I won't tell you how. I barely figured it out myself. I just know the loud parts of life fade, the quiet ones stay. I don't have a grand lesson to leave behind. No secret formula, no warning carved in stone. Just a simple truth that feels softer the older I get. Most of the moments that mattered didn't look like success at all. They were quiet, almost shy. Easy to miss if you were staring too hard at the next step up. I spent a lifetime chasing a version of myself that wore the right titles and impressed the right people. And somewhere along the way, I misplaced the parts of me that felt real, not lost forever, just buried under noise. If you're standing where I once stood, wanting to be seen, wanting to be someone, I won't tell you to stop. Wanting is human. Just don't forget to look around while you're reaching forward. Don't let the days blur into achievements you barely remember earning. And if the child you used to be still tugs at your sleeve from time to time, asking you to slow down, maybe listen. Not because it will fix anything or guarantee happiness, but because that voice fades faster than you think. I don't know what you'll choose or who you'll become. I only know this. Your life is happening now, even if it doesn't feel like the important part yet. The rest, you'll figure out on your own.